Hi guys, welcome back to Tarot and Beyond. Today we're doing another pick a symbol, or in this case, pick an image reading. You can choose from the three goddesses that we have here before you. So you have goddess number 1, goddess number 2, and goddess number 3. See which one or multiple goddesses resonate with you and use the timestamps linked in the description box or pinned in the comments below to jump ahead to your reading to find out what goddess vibes you are currently resonating at, emitting, or needing to connect to more. Keep in mind that these are general readings, so just take what resonates with you and leave the rest, and we will see you in your reading. All right, hi goddess number 1. If you chose this goddess, which is the Empress energy, let's take a look at your cards and see what goddess energy you are bringing forth to the world right now, and or what goddess energy is wanting to emit through you or connect to you right now. So I have a couple of different decks that I've pre-selected, but nothing is shuffled yet. So we're going to do that on camera and see what cards come through for you. So, that was fast. For you, goddess number 1, you have energy healing, and that's Merlin. You have artistic expression with Paul the Venetian. I get one more from this deck. Osiris, father, husband, brother, son. Okay. I find it particularly interesting that we're doing a goddess reading and you've pulled all masculine archetypes. I wonder how that's going to fit together. So let's get some more cards here. Oops. So this is the goddess deck. So let's take a look and see what goddess's energy specifically you're channeling here. You have Sappho the poetess. I love every inch of my body and I love the women in my life fiercely. Okay, are you a masculine? I love the women in my life fiercely. I feel like this masculine energy here and then this card. If you are happening to be a masculine watching this reading, welcome. You're always welcome in a goddess reading. And if you are a feminine and you resonate as a feminine, then that's also welcome here as well. Obviously, that's what we're reading for, is that goddess energy. So you also have Sekhmet. Sekhmet is the red lady. She says, I am pure strength. I honor my anger by giving voice to it. Wow. Yeah, you've got some powerful energy in your goddess vibes pile, or goddess number 1. I'm used to saying pile number 1. Okay, let's get one more from this deck. This one here? No, it's not. Okay. That's why I always like to double check to see. And you have Lilith. Oh my God. Lilith is the first woman. I am the voice of my body and soul. I choose the life that I desire to live. Okay. So goddess number 1. This is some mega powerful energy. There we go. I just had to fix the cards. I realized they were out of frame at the top there. Sorry about that. So goddess number 1, what I'm seeing here in your cards is essentially that you have some mega powerful masculine energy within you, but it's not like a masculine energy that is distorted. It's a very healthy, healed masculine energy that helps you to stand up for your femininity. It helps you to stand up for your feminine goddess energy. So you're able to be in your power, you're able to manifest, you're able to do energy healing. You are very, very much connected to your body. So we have 2 goddess archetypes here that are mentioning being connected to the body. I love every inch of my body. And then Lilith says, I am the voice of my body and soul. So there's very much energy connected to the physicality and that natural essence, which makes sense with the goddess image that you chose. The Empress is all about the physical body, the nurturance, the physical creation, giving birth to life and being able to create abundance through those physical expressions of manifestation. So I really see a lot of that here in your reading, but I also see a lot of ferocity. I see a lot of energy that is more aggressive or masculine based, but is still technically a feminine polarity expression that's coming through these goddesses. So goddess number one, you are very, very powerful. You have some sacred anger within you that needs to emerge and be birthed into the world. And sacred anger is essentially deep love, because anger is pain that has been warped. And so if we can dig beneath the anger to the pain and look beneath the pain as well, what we will find is a wound around love or a lack of love. And so there's an injustice there, or there's an unfairness, or there's a repression of the self, or shame that needs to be addressed because it's a repression of the self. So I see that these goddess archetypes that you're connecting to are very much concerned with how the masculine has repressed the feminine. And so whether this is the external patriarchal systems that we currently live and work within, or this is more of an archetypal experience within you where that masculine dominance has overpowered your feminine softness. This is really about you finding balance between those two. But first, to do that, it is about standing in your primal, is what I'm hearing, primal power. So it's very visceral, it's very tangible, and it's almost aggressive, but fierce is a better word. It's fierce power. And so not backing down, not doing what you're told, not being complacent. It's like you're able to manipulate energy in a very positive way by no longer allowing things to get the better of you or take your power away from you. I see that you are very creative. Your artistic expression is very, very much part of your divine goddess energy. You're able to create, you're able to manifest, you're able to advocate through some sort of possibly creative expression how you would like to see the world be and how you would like those energies of masculine and feminine to balance out. I do see that you are frustrated and annoyed with the way that the world is. So you might have experienced some injustices if you are a female and you have been, oppressed, or you have been undervalued, or you have been projected upon, maybe even abused or misused. So it's that energy of vulnerability that you're no longer standing in. It's like you've taken what you've been experiencing in this life so far and you've catalyzed it into this fierce power that is now acting as your sword and shield to go out into the world and do battle. So it's actually pretty interesting because the archetype that you chose, the symbol of the Empress, is very sort of gentle and nurturing and passive in that sense, where she's creative, but she's not necessarily like a warrior archetype. But what I'm seeing here in your cards is actually a bit of both. Like you're a warrior, you're a nurturer, you're a healer, but you're also, I said it at the beginning, didn't I? You're a warrior and you're also a healer. So you're aggressive and passive. You are, but not passive aggressive. You are willing to take action. You're willing to put up a fight for when something is not aligned or when something is unjust. Now, I want to take a look at here we go. I want to take a look at your tarot cards, but I'm using a specific deck that is just Major Arcana, and it's all the Disney princesses. This was a very small batch private deck that I got that was very, very limited edition. Okay, so you have Justice. Look at that. That's exactly what I was picking up on. You're all about fighting for justice. You're all about fighting for fairness. And this is, I think her name was Akita from, what is it called? Atlantis. From the movie Atlantis. So if I'm remembering her name correctly, Akita she was like 10,000 and something years old. She was extremely wise, and she was chosen by the crystal to protect her people. So I really feel as though this is an archetype that your goddess energy very much embodies. It's all about fighting for justice, what's fair, what's equal, and doing it from the heart. And so it's as though you are using your wisdom, your knowledge, your skills, your energy healing, your artistic expression, even possibly your connections to that father or masculine archetype, to be able to defend what it is that you truly believe in and to fight for justice. I also see that you are a protector. So you are a protector of those who are vulnerable. You are a protector of those who are in a disadvantaged position. And if you are a masculine and for whatever reason you've been called to this reading, then this is another part of that. You're here to defend the feminine. You're here to protect their bodies. You're here to make sure that it's just and fair, that they're being treated with equality rather than as second class citizens, right? So this is all about humanity. It's humanity over division, over duality, or over separation or segregation. So being able to see life as sacred and valuable, and seeing the body as part of that, and honoring your femininity through your body, or honoring your sacred feminine energy through your physical expression of your body, while at the same time honoring that that fierce, justified, righteous anger or motivation to create change. On the bottom of the deck, you have the Death card with Snow White. So Snow White was a very passive type of character. She was very archetypally feminine, in the sense that she needed to be rescued, and she was very innocent and trusting to the point of being gullible, that she lived with several men, seven dwarves. So, and she did the cleaning and the cooking, and she it's like that 1940s style expression of femininity before any kind of feminine or female power movements came on the scene. So we do see that with the Death card here, it's like a transformation from that old, innocent, vulnerable type of female energy into this very strong, almost masculine expressed feminine, but it's still feminine. It's still soft. It's still nurturing. It's still gentle and loving and healing. It's still very creative, but it's taken on the necessary hardness to be able to defend what is right and to stand up for what is just. Very interesting cards that you have here. So let's take some more cards here from the Fairy Tarot. Okay, so for goddess number one, no. What else? Ooh. That's so funny. I shuffled the deck beforehand, and this was the card that actually popped out the first time as well. It's the fairy greeting. So it says, fairies clever, fairies bright, from garden, wood, and pond. Guide my thoughts, guide my sight. Please help me find the answers on a path that's true and right. So as you can see here, it's all about what's true and right. It's again that justice energy, but you're working with the magical realms. That's what Merlin represents as well, working with the fairy realms, working with the archetypal realms, the goddess energy, these very, very primal types of fundamental energy signatures that have existed since the beginning of time. And so you're tapping into those aspects. They're very ancient is what I feel from them, and so are you. So this goddess energy that you're holding and that you are embodying and expressing is very, very ancient. It's ancient sacred knowledge and wisdom that you are using in a very balanced way to defend those who are in a disadvantaged position, to help those people who need healing to heal, to allow yourself to be in your artistic expression so that you feel divinely empowered, and to be able to no longer kind of bow down to or disassemble yourself for unhealthy patriarchal systems or unhealthy masculine projections. And if anything, you're banding together with the healthy masculines, the divinely expressed masculine men, to be able, or women, right? We can all have either one, but being able to band together with all of these variations of these polarities within other people to create, it almost feels like an army or a wave of revolution for the future, which is going to uphold this fairness, this balance, this sacredness, and this appreciation of the body. So you might even be very like open about your sexuality. You might be very open about your body. You might be more willing to kind of just let it all hang out. Maybe you're kind of like in the 70s when they had the free the nipple movement where everybody was taking their bras off. Maybe it's something like that. You know, it feels very empowered. It feels very free. It feels very righteous and justice oriented. And it's the death of the old and the rebirth of the new. Really, really cool, because you've got death which is the ending, and then you've got this fairy greeting, which is the beginning. And it's all about this path that is true and right. Okay, what else is coming up for pile number 1, or goddess number 1? You have the Knight of Cups. Okay. I feel like this is part of your energy healing abilities. You're able to express love in a divinely goddess archetypal way. You also have the Six of Wands, justice, victory, success. Yeah, again, I heard in my head standing up for the little guy, doing what's right, and being victorious and successful at that. You're an emotional warrior. You are a healing warrior, if that can be a thing, right? So it's soft, beautiful goddess energy that has mobilized to fight for what is right. Really, really powerful, and not what I was expecting. I can sort of see it now that we've kind of looked at the more ins and outs of this energy, but just given this the goddess image that you chose, that's not what I was expecting. But you know, these readings are always fun to do, and because there's no way of telling what it's going to be. It's always a surprise. So that is what I see for you, goddess number 1. You are strong, fierce. You are also very loving, compassionate. You are a healer. You are a warrior. You are an artist. You are most likely a feminist, although I'm not going to go as far to say that, but that's the vibes that I get from you. And I don't mean like far right radical feminism or something like that, or left, or whichever it is. I don't even know what politics are anymore. But I just mean like you fight for justice and you fight for equality, and that's what it boils down to. It's not about right or left, us or them, female or male. It's just equality, love, compassion. That is the ferocity that you bring to the world, and it's beautiful, and it's very much needed. So thank you so much, goddess number 1, for being here today and for sharing your beautiful goddess energy with me for this reading, and for sharing that with the world as well. Sending you so much love and blessings to support you in this goddess expression in this lifetime. And if you enjoyed this reading, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more pick a card, pick an image, or pick a symbol readings. Lots more to come. And if you're looking for any more personal guidance, energy work, or even karmic clearing, I am a professional psychic medium, spiritual healer, and Akashic reader as well. So you can find all my services in the link to my website, which is in the description box below this video. Thank you so much, guys, and we will see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi goddess number 2. If you chose this beautiful moon cloud goddess, then this is your reading. So we're going to take a look at your cards. I have some pre-selected decks here to kind of get a vibe for this very beautiful divine sacred goddess energy that you are emitting, exuding, or being called to embody. So let's take a look at your cards. We're going to start with this particular deck. Wow, okay. You have Maitreya with Power of Joy. What else for pile number 2 or goddess number 2? You have see the other person's point of view with Avalokitesvara. I'm sorry if I completely butchered that. So see other people's points of view. I felt like there was one in there. No, okay. And this one, come out of the closet, Amaterasu. You've got all these really hard to pronounce names. Come out of the closet. All right, now let's get some goddess cards. So for goddess number 2, what goddess energy are they embodying or being called to embody? Our Lady Guadalupe, the Empress of Protection. I am safe and divinely protected. I am held in love at all times. Okay. And these two. Okay, great. So you have Teresa of Avila, Our Lady of the Interior Life. I trust the answers I find within me. I know that the presence of love is real. Okay. And you have Machig Labdron, the diamond-hearted Dakini. I see the light in my own darkness. I face my ego beliefs to feel free. Wow. There we go. I just wanted to reposition your cards a little bit. And let's take a look at your princesses as well. So I have a Disney princess deck that is just the major arcana. So let's take a look for goddess number 2. What Disney princess archetype is coming through here? Wow, you've got several. Oops. Okay. You have the Hanged Man, which is Belle. You have the Moon here as Ariel. Yeah, I thought that was 2 maybe, but it's just 1. And then you have Strength with Mulan. So goddess number 2, what I see here in your reading so far is that you are definitely someone who is held in love at all times. Your goddess energy is very much about safety. It's very much about gentleness and sensitivity. I see you being very, very compassionate and even possibly helping other people to accept themselves and to feel a lot stronger because you're able to hold space for their egos to exist. So you're creating that safety, seeing people as they truly are and welcoming that vulnerability out, or to welcoming it to come to the surface, so that any fear or aggression or self-repression or self-hate that they had within them is able to kind of melt away in the presence of your joy and your love and your protection. I get this sense that, especially with I see other people's points of view and the Moon card here, when I think of the Little Mermaid, Ariel wanted to be where the people were. And so she wanted to have legs. She wanted to be human. She didn't want to be a mermaid anymore. She was tired of the sea. So she was looking for that other perspective or that other point of view. And we even see that here with the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man in the traditional tarot does represent having an altered perspective. It's hanging upside down temporarily to get a different point of view on the world, and therefore to change your perspective or your mind about something, to expand and open your consciousness. So I do see that you have managed to achieve that. And I see a lot of different cultures in your reading as well. We've got Guadalupe, we've got Buddhist, there's Christian, Buddhism, there's Hinduism, there's I think this is Japanese. So there's so many different kind of ethnicities and races. I feel like because you're such a compassionate, all-encompassing type of person, you really take into account all of these different life experiences that people have lived, or the lives that they've or the paths that they've walked. And so you're able to incorporate all of that into the love and compassion that you give. You're able to see all sides of a matter. You're able to factor in all different personal experiences or perspectives. And that's what allows people to feel very safe and warm and welcomed in your presence. It helps people to come out of hiding. And like I said, to have the strength. You may even be somebody who helps people who have repressed their sexuality to come out as well. So because Mulan was like a cross-dresser, she dressed up as a man to join the army in place of her father, and you have come out of the closet. This could quite literally be that you help people to embrace whatever gender they identify with, or whatever sexuality they identify with or are attracted to. And you help people to feel confident in who they are, or you help people to feel safe in whatever form of expression that their soul is choosing to emit. So I think that that's absolutely beautiful. And again, I'm seeing the rainbow here. So you may actually be LGBTQ yourself, or not. You know, you might just be an advocate. You might be somebody who really is just for human life. You know, it's not about the dualities and the preferences and the different aspects of humanity. It's just humanity. It's just about love. Love is love. So let love grow. Let it be, whatever form it happens to take. And so it's like there's a crossing of the worlds here, because again, with Ariel, she came out of the water and had a romantic relationship with a human. So it's like these two sides that were never really meant to connect, or had never really connected in the past, are now coming out and being able to come together and to exist within love. So I very much adore that energy from you, goddess number 2. There's just so much grace in your presence. There is so much love and acceptance that I'm getting from you. It's like you're a very accepting person, and you don't judge, you don't look down. You're very open-minded. That's the word I'm looking for. Very, very open-minded. And so because of that, you are very healing, because people feel that in your presence. You exude that, and people can tell that they're safe around you, that you're not going to judge them, or you're not going to put them into a box that confines them. Okay, let's get some cards from the Fairy Tarot to add to your reading. So for goddess number 2, you have the star. Oh, look how beautiful that is too. Just radiant. I really see this as you, again, just being very healing. Like you provide such a healing, nurturing, compassionate, loving space. The star is also Aquarius. It's ruled by Aquarius, and Aquarius is a very collective, humanitarian, a very philanthropic type of energy as well. So you might have like causes that you want to fight for, but in a very gentle, loving, supportive way. So instead of, versus pile number 1 or goddess number 1, which was a very it was like feminine power of Lilith and Sekhmet. It's like this very sort of almost aggressive, resistant type of feminine goddess energy. Whereas for you here in goddess number 2, pile number 2, you are very much about the support rather than the fighting of what you don't want. You're just more an advocate than a protester, if that makes sense. So you're just very gentle, loving, compassionate, and you're willing to put in the effort there. Okay. Oh, where did it go? There. The 4 of Wands as well. Okay. So yeah, the 4 of Wands here is working together. It's sharing something and having a common goal. It's celebrating. It's having mutual sort of traditions that can bring us together. It's like, again, they keep bringing me back to The Little Mermaid. Sorry, just that's what they keep bringing me back to. The Little Mermaid, it's like there were weddings under the sea and there were weddings up on land. And so that was a tradition that crossed these boundaries of the elements. It's like they crossed these boundaries of the different types of cultures, or the different types of species, or the different types of life. And so these traditions are what can bring people together. And I see that's something that may interest you, is that you're looking for, how can we find common ground, or how can we come together? How can we accept one another? And if looking at the traditions that bring us together can help us to do that, well, then let's focus on those things. Let's focus on unity. Let's focus on community. It's so funny that they had me say unity and then community, because I never even realized that unity is in the word community. So it's like coming together to create unity is what a community is. So I feel like you're very community oriented. You're very focused on how you can provide for all of the people within that community and helping them to experience that feeling of joy that comes from acceptance. I see that you're also a problem solver. Like if there is something that's going wrong, your goddess energy is very tapped into, okay, let's look for a solution. Let's be clever about this. Let's read up on it, or let's study it, and let's find an answer. And maybe it's through a library where there's a whole bunch of different books from different writers from all across the world. And so that's how we're getting that sort of multicultural or multi-perspective type of mindset. Or it could just be that you kind of create these solutions on your own based on your experiences of the past, or based on the types of dynamics you've experienced with other people in the past. So like with Mulan, she was tasked with retrieving the arrow from the top of the pole, which was way the heck up there. And she was given these two very heavy weights that represented, I think it was strength and discipline or something like that. And I can't remember, but nobody could do it. Nobody could climb to the top because those were weighing them down. Eventually, Mulan realizes that she can use them, tie them together around the back of the pole and use them to help her shimmy up it. So it's like what used to weigh you down is actually what helps you to get to the top. So instead of repressing or allowing certain things or belief systems or old traditions to weigh you down, it's like you're actually using them to get to a higher vantage point, or to a higher perspective, or to that goal that you're seeking to ascend to. So focusing on the solution is something that I also see as part of your goddess strengths. I feel like we need one more card from this deck. It's this one. Mother, wife, sister, daughter, Lady Nada. Okay, so I feel like Lady Nada here is really bringing you even more of that feminine energy and connection to a community of fellow sisters or fellow feminines. And it doesn't have to be females, it can be males who are feminine or vice versa. And so I feel like there's this energy of connection, and the energy of community keeps coming up. I also am getting this vibe from Lady Nada that she's almost like a little bit, what's the word? Like not mischievous, but just kind of like, okay, like let's go. And it just feels very like lovingly encouraging. I guess that's the word that I'm looking for. Lovingly encouraging, but a little bit, I can't think of the word. Oh, come on. It's like, she is definitely willing to take action. It's like she's not going to just sit around and wait for somebody else to figure out the solution to the problem. She's going to step into her joy. She's going to make the changes. She's going to look for the answers. She's going to start to shift things. So I do feel that's the energy I'm getting from her. Not mischievous in the sense that she's like trying to cause trouble. It's mischievous in the sense that she's not going to sit around and wait for something to happen. She's going to kind of nudge people to do something about it, or she's going to advocate for that positive change. So this goddess energy, both of the goddess energies in these readings have been very much like advocacy based and rights based and equality based. Like, it's not what I was expecting from these readings, but that's what's coming through. So that's what we've got. And I actually really love it, because this is all about using the divine goddess energy to create positive change in the world. How you do that is simply by embodying it yourself. It's being in your goddess energy and showing up as that every day, so that other people feel safe to step into their divine feminine or their goddess archetype or their godly archetype if they resonate as a masculine. So it is this energy of divine expression that I'm really seeing in both of these readings, and in yours it's very encouraging, advocate based. It's very loving, gentle, compassionate, and understanding. So absolutely beautiful. That is what I see for you, goddess number 2. Thank you so much for joining me today and allowing me to tap into your goddess energy and to provide that feedback for you. Yeah, really just like act on what brings you joy, connect to people, see all of these different perspectives, be an advocate, be in your strength, and support other people in being in theirs. That's really what I see as your divine goddess energy. So if you would like a more personalized reading, I do have lots of different reading options in the link to my website below this video. And if not, then thank you for joining me today. And if you would like to like the video and subscribe to the channel, I would very much greatly appreciate it. So sending you lots of love, and we will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, goddess number 3. Welcome to your goddess reading. If you chose this goddess, the beautiful Lotus goddess, then this is your reading. So I have some pre-selected decks here that have chosen to be here for these goddess readings that we are going to use. I do apologize if the lighting is a bit darker than normal, as I'm filming around dusk and my natural lighting from the window has gone away. So let's take a look at your cards. We're actually going to start with the Princess Tarot first. So a little different than the other 2 readings, but that's what they're calling me to do. So we're going to use these cards to see what energies of your goddess archetype are wanting to come through. You have the Hermit, and I can't remember her name, but she's from Wreck-It Ralph. If you can remember her name, let me know in the comments, because I forget. Oh, no, I remember. It's Penelope. Vanellope. Vanellope? Yeah, Vanellope. Anyway, she's from Candy Rush or something like that. Sugar Rush, that's what it was. Okay, and then you have the Hanged Man with Belle. Oh, okay. I think this one is the Queen of Wands. Yes, Queen of Wands. And this is Jane. Jane from Tarzan. Yeah. Actually, we'll get one more to fill that spot. For pile number 3, goddess number 3. Temperance with Moana. There we go. I just needed to adjust the cards on the table so that you can see them. All right, so next let's take a look at this deck. Oh, okay. That was fast. You have Hina with Freedom. You have Krishna with Find the Blessing in Your Current Situation. And you have Lakshmi with flow of prosperity. And look at that. If that isn't the spitting image of the goddess that you chose, I don't know what is. So Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity. Wow. So goddess number 3, what I am seeing from your card so far is that your energy is very much about, it feels like independence, it feels like freedom, and part of that is through prosperity. So it is about being in your own abundance to be able to create the life that you desire. So your goddess archetype is very much about having all that you need and being able to feel successful, to be able to feel free, and also to feel liberated. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Spirit. Liberated. You are liberating yourself through your goddess energy. So you're able to break free from any previous restrictions or any limitations or any feeling of stuckness that you had in the past. It's like you want to enter into a different environment. I feel a lot of adventure from your goddess energy. And I'm seeing that here with the Hermit. It's like you're breaking free from old patterns or old restrictions that kind of kept you in a box or hid you away from the world, and you're liberating yourself and coming back into your goddess archetype, like the story of Vanellope in Wreck-It Ralph. She is an outcast because she's considered a glitch, but she just really wants to race. And so she's sequestered away in this hidden mountain where, you know, all of the rest of the candy people really ostracized her, but she finds a way to get back into the race, and then she finds out that she's actually the princess or the queen of Sugar Rush. So I really see that this is kind of the energy that I'm seeing for you. And it's the same thing with Belle. It's like she went from feeling out of place and feeling like an outcast, and eventually she becomes a princess, and she has all of the things that she desires. She lives in a castle and has a giant library. So it's kind of like you're able to get everything that you desire, going from this outcast into this real like empowerment and prosperity. Even with Jane here, I feel like she wanted to explore, she wanted to learn. She didn't want to just stay at home in the city. She wanted to go out into the jungle and study the animals. That was her passion. And so I get this adventurous type of energy from you where you don't want to just stay put. You really actually are, your goddess energy is desiring to blossom. It's desiring to come out into the open, where it's kind of like the lotus that's repressed or suppressed down in the mud and then bursts forth and grows all the way up through the water into the light of day. And it's this energy of really breaking free and liberating yourself. Same thing with Moana, if you've seen the movie, one of my favorites. And she liberates herself from the island, and she's able to go out to sea and go on this great adventure to find the heart of Te Fiti. So it really is this freedom that you are embracing that's going to create this blessing for you in this lifetime. I do see that your current situation might feel restrictive. We do have the Hermit and the Hanged Man, and Temperance can also speak of patience. So feeling restricted, feeling stuck, feeling stagnant, as if you've been kind of boxed in or fenced in or just kind of like repressed or even outcast in some way, like you feel stuck or you feel trapped. And there's a blessing in this current situation that's calling you to step into your goddess energy. It's calling you to level up, to express yourself, to liberate yourself, and to step into your true power. That's where that freedom is going to come from. And I'm seeing in the Flow of Prosperity card what looks like Ganesh. I don't think it's actually Ganesh, but there's an elephant in the background there. That is reminding me of Ganesh. And so it feels like this is the remover of obstacles. So if there have been obstacles, limitations, stagnancy, stuckness, feeling outcast or alone in your current situation, that freedom is going to come through the removing of these obstacles, through daringness, through willingness to be adventurous, to try something new, to take action, and to do it in a balanced way, so that you're being moderate with how you're trying to do it. You're doing it the right way. You're following your instinct and intuition. That's leading you down the path of liberation. Okay, so now let's take a look at your actual goddess cards and see what archetypes are coming up here. You have the Black Madonna, Our Lady of the Hermits. Oh my God. I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. Okay, so you have the Hermit, and then you have Our Lady of Hermits. So quite literally, you are like the hermit goddess. But the whole purpose of this is that you are transforming this pain, this suffering, this limitation, this ostracization, if that's even a word, into freedom. You're liberating people, you're liberating yourself, you're transforming suffering into love. Beautiful. Wow. Rabia, the Queen of Saintly Women. I am in service of divine love. I move the way love asks me to move. Okay. I like that she's got her staff here that looks like the wand in like the Queen of Wands. So it does feel very much as though there's this, it's like you have the staff of life. She's got one too, actually. And it's as though you're able to use that to guide you towards liberation and freedom. And it feels like the image I'm seeing in my mind is like Moses parting the Red Sea. So where there was obstacle, now there is a path. Where there was limitation, now there is freedom. Where there was slavery and restriction, now there is independence and autonomy. So this is what I see for you. Your goddess energy is very different than the first two goddesses readings, but in some ways it's similar in the sense that you're liberating yourself, you're freeing yourself, you're coming out of feeling like an outcast, and you're coming into your power. Whoa. I just went to shuffle for the third card, and I got like a huge wave of energy that just went through my body, and it almost kind of knocked me off balance. Like I felt almost like I had vertigo. And yeah, it was like a very grounding, very powerful energy that just kind of like pulled me down into my body in a good way. So I feel like you are really significantly shifting how you embody yourself, your energy, this liberation and this coming out of the hermit energy and that stuckness, and transforming it into the removing of those obstacles and the liberation of yourself and possibly even others. I feel like through that process, you are extremely leveling up. Like you are really embodying a whole new level of frequency, and that's going to shift how you operate physically. Like it's going to shift how you feel in your body. It's going to shift how you're able to use your energy and how you're able to do things in life, which is really quite profound. Okay, let's take a look here. No, it's not that one. Okay, thank you. Last card in this deck for goddess number 3. Or last 2 cards, because we do have 3 here. Okay. You have Freya, the goddess of discernment. I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it is a holy hell yes. When it is a holy hell yes. I love that. Oops. And then you have Lakshmi again. No way. The goddess of abundance. I choose to feel abundant. Wealth is an inside job. Oh my gosh. Goddess number 3, you are seriously stepping into abundance in this lifetime in a big way. And I think that wave that hit me that felt like vertigo was like this massive shift of going from feeling stuck, feeling trapped, feeling ostracized to the removal of that obstacle and like the pull of that energy that just guides you forward into this abundance. And it's actually going to change your life. Like the abundance of this goddess energy that you're in or you're stepping into is seriously going to change your life. And you have Khadija, the mother of believers. I am spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. Okay, pile number 3, goddess number 3. You know, this is just amazing, abundant type of energy. You are seriously meant to be prosperous in this lifetime. I think that's what's going to liberate you, is that you're going from like rags to riches, and you're meant to do that. It's like you're destined for that in this lifetime. You're meant to embody that freedom. And here in this case, freedom can be financial, or it can be abundance, right? It doesn't have to be financial abundance. It can be some other kind of abundance. But I see that in you stepping into your power, it's going to significantly change the structure of your life. It's going to change how you operate. It's going to change how you live. It's going to change your daily routine. It may even change who you're interacting with, or the types of people that accept you. Because I'm getting that feeling of like, when you step into your power, people start respecting you more. When you step into your power, that financial abundance comes in, and then people who once looked down on you are now looking up to you. So there's like a change in power dynamic that stepping into your goddess energy is going to bring. And because we have Lakshmi in both of these cards, and also in the figure that you chose, I don't know if that figure you chose or the image you chose is actually Lakshmi, but that's the image that I'm seeing, or like the correlation that I'm seeing here. So very, very much about prosperity and abundance and creation and blossoming from the darkness up into the light. It's like you're going from rags to riches, and that's predominantly what I see here. And that's what liberates you, and that is what frees you and gets you out of suffering and pain. And it gets you out of this feeling of being rejected or being alone. I also see that because of what you've been through, you're not going to squander that prosperity. You're not going to take it for granted. It's like you will truly appreciate it because you know what it's like to have nothing, or you know what it's like to be looked down on, or you know what it's like to feel alone. And so whatever this abundance, whatever form it comes in, you're really going to appreciate it and have a lot of gratitude for it. And that's why it's a goddess type energy, because it's not coming from a place of lack. It's not coming from a place of unworthiness. It's really coming from this place of, now I understand. And through that understanding and through that abundance and through that prosperity, I can hold safe space for others. I can love more deeply. I can liberate those who I know have been in the same situation that I was in before. And I think this abundance is going to look different for everyone. For some of you, this might be financial riches. For others of you, it might be living a much more naturally based lifestyle. Like perhaps abundance for some people would be going and living in the jungle like Jane, where there's fruits and vegetables and all of your needs are provided for, and you've got a huge community of friends and family in the form of animals, right? That's just obviously a little bit of an exaggerated example, but it doesn't always have to be that you get a lot of money that represents abundance. It could be because you've got these prosperity energies throughout your reading. But I also feel like it's this energy of freedom, and whatever that freedom looks like for you. So maybe it's getting off the island, maybe it's getting out of hiding, maybe it's going into the jungle, maybe it's embracing a more natural lifestyle, moving to an island, perhaps, something like that. You know, it could be that you are really just, with the financial prosperity that's coming, you're able to just get out of the house more. You're able to travel the world, or you're able to connect with new groups of people and really listen to your intuition and your discernment, so that you're not feeling as though you are obligated to do things or not do things, so that you're not feeling left out because you can't afford to go, or you're not feeling like you can't help people because you don't have the money to support. So it's like you're better able to be in your goddess energy when this prosperity or this abundance comes in, whatever form it is, because you're able to give back. You're able to appreciate it. You're able to liberate yourself even further because there's that love and that discernment and that wisdom that you've gained through all of these challenges or circumstances that kept you stuck or limited in the past. Okay, let's get some cards from the Fairy Tarot. The Ten of Wands. Oh, wow. Okay. So you are significantly breaking free from some limitations and things that have tied you up in the past. That's what we were seeing in these cards already. And then you have the Magician. Yeah, you're able to manifest really super powerfully, Goddess number 3. You have the Midas touch. You have the Goddess touch in this case. you have the ability and the capacity to create a lot of luck for yourself here. Like it's in the cards that you are going to be very prosperous in this lifetime. And so that's going to free you. Okay, these two. Oh my God, you have the Hermit again. This is why I love doing the shuffling on camera, so you guys can actually see the magic happen right before your eyes instead of having it pre-picked for you. I mean, it happens in the back end anyway, but it's nice to see it actually go down like that, because you've got the Black Madonna, which is Our Lady of Hermits, you have the Hermit, and you also have the Hermit. Okay, so, and then you have Justice as well. So balance and temperance and justice really go hand in hand here. I feel like both of these together are talking about creating balance, and there's karma involved here too. So in a positive sense, this karma is really about you liberating yourself, freeing yourself, coming out of your shell. You've spent a lot of time introspecting. You've probably spent a lot of time on your own, because this is all about the Hermit energy, feeling like you are on the outskirts of society, feeling as though you don't quite fit in. Maybe even wanting to be a hermit to get away from that world, because we do see that with Jane, we do see that with Hina, we do see that with Moana as well. It's kind of like, maybe it's the opposite. Instead of looking for inclusivity in a society that you don't resonate with, maybe it's about you escaping and going and building a community elsewhere, or having the prosperity to be able to live off grid or something like that. Maybe that's what abundance looks like for you. Whatever it happens to be, you're freeing yourself by, like wrestling this dragon, dealing with this problem, handling this obstacle, and again, parting the Red Seas. You're taking an obstacle and turning it into a pathway that leads you forward and garners you a lot of prosperity and success through that freedom and liberation that you're doing for yourself and others. Wow, wow, wow. Pile number 3, goddess number 3. This has been really a mind-blowing reading. It was a fantastic way to close out these goddess readings. I think all of them were super powerful, but yours is just like the most magical because of how many times these repeating symbols came out, like Lakshmi coming out several times and the Hermit coming out several times. You just can't make this stuff up. So I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for allowing me to connect with your beautiful goddess energy and to do this reading for you. If you enjoyed it, I would really appreciate it if you liked the video, and if you subscribe to the channel if you resonate with my style of readings and you'd like to see more. I'm going to be doing lots of pick a cards and symbols and images and things like that you can have fun with here. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, I am a professional psychic medium, energy healer, Akashic reader, and spiritual counselor. I know that's a mouthful. And you can find all my services down in the description box below at the link to my website. So thank you so much, guys. I love you, and we will see you in the next reading. Bye.